Good morning, students. So we have our math assignment for Tuesday, October 27th, and we are starting to learn about fractions with unlike denominators. So we have been working hard on solving problems with like denominators, which makes it a little easier, but now we're going to learn how to solve problems when the denominators are not the same. And to be able to do that, we have to first learn how to find a least common denominator, or for short, LCD. So, after you complete your review exercises, which is similar to what you did yesterday, and your speed drills, you're going to start finding least common denominator. So let's read the directions first. It says, to add or subtract fractions with unlike denominators, you need to first find their least common denominator, or LCD. The LCD is the smallest number other than 0 that each denominator will divide into evenly. So that is the main tip that you need to focus on. The smallest number, obviously not 0, that each denominator will divide into evenly. So it has a few examples here. The least common denominator of 3 and 2 is 6. Why? So the reason why it is 6 is because 2 and 3 both fit into 6. It is the smallest number that both of these fit into. And to give you another visual, if I were to do 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4 as an example, and then we'll do 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4. So if I were to multiply 2's and 3's all the way down in the multiplication table, so 2 times 1 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 12. So our 2 and 3 both fit into 6 evenly. There's no other number smaller than 6 that both 3 and 2 fit into evenly. So that makes 6 the least common denominator, the smallest number that both of these numbers fit into. Now, what is the smallest number that both 5 and 10 fit into? Well, we know we can't go lower than 10 because 10 has to fit into 10 or higher. Now, can 5 fit into 10 also? Yes. So our least common denominator of 5 and 10 is 10. And just to give another little visual, if we were to have 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3, and then we were to have 10 times 1, 10 times 2, 10 times 3, 5, 10, 15, 10, 20, 30. Which number do they have in common? 10. 10 is the smallest number that both 5 fits into and 10 fits into. And for one more example, we have 4 and 6. So what is the smallest number that both 4 and 6 both fit into evenly? So 4 fits into 12 evenly 3 times, and 6 fits into 12 evenly twice. So if we were to go down the list, and you don't have to do it like this, you might know it right away, but this is just a way for you to see what it means. So here we have, oops, this one right here, 12. We have 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 2 is 12. It is the smallest number that both of these number fits into. So you're going to do the same process with all of them. And I'm going to do the first samples with you. So for sample 1, we have 1 over 3 and 1 over 4. So we're not adding or subtracting. We're only finding the least common denominator. So what is the least common denominator of 3 and 4? Well, we know it has to be higher than 4 because 4 has to fit into it. So we can go up from 4 and say, does 4 fit into 4 evenly? Yes. Does 3 fit into 4 evenly? No. What about 5? Does 3 or 4 fit into 5 evenly? No. 6? Well, 3 does fit into 6 evenly, but does 4? No. 7? Neither one fits. 8? Well, 4 does fit into 8 evenly twice, but 3 doesn't, so it can't be 8. What about 9? 3 fits into 9 evenly, but not 4. 10? Neither fit evenly. 11? Neither fit evenly. What about 12? Well, 3 fits into 12 evenly 4 times, yes, and 4 fits into 12 evenly 3 times. So the least common denominator of 3 and 4 is 12 because it is the smallest number that both of these fit into. And we will talk about later why finding this least common denominator is important. Now let's do 6 and 8. This can get a little trickier. Let's start up from 8 since we know that 8 has to fit evenly into the number. So we would do 9, no. 10, nope. 11, nope. 12, well 6 does fit into 12, but not 8. 9, no. 10, no. 11, no. 12, well 12 does, 6 fits into 12, but not 8. 13, nope. 14, no. 15, no. 16, 8 fits into 16, but not 6. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Both 6 and 8 fit evenly into 24. It is the smallest number that both numbers fit into evenly. So you may have an easier time solving the rest of these, but if you don't, you can use both of the techniques that I just showed you. You can go down the multiplication table, or you can go up from the highest number. And we can talk a little bit more about it over Zoom if you need some help. But just try really hard to make sure they're all correct, because it's going to be very important to know how to find the least common denominators when we start adding and subtracting fractions with uncommon denominators or unlike denominators. And here for our language arts assignment, we are not learning a new concept. We're just continuing from page 55. So this is C, Think C. So you're going to continue on with Think C with these directions, underlining the verbs twice, the subject once, and then writing whether or not the sentence is simple or compound. And there is a lesson for Monday on all of this to better understand the differences between simple and compound. So you're going to finish 8 through 15 with those directions. And then for Write D, it has a little bit of extra room here because it wants you to change each pair of simple sentences into one compound sentence. And it says here on notebook paper, but because you have a little bit of space, you might be able to fit it in. And then you're going to circle the connecting word and comma. So I'm not going to give you an example because you only have 2. But just remember that all you need to do is just write in a connecting word. It could be depending on the sentence. We have them here: and, but, or, nor, for, or yet. So you're going to write your connecting word and of course your comma. And you're going to circle them both just like you've been doing in Think C for both of these. Then for Think E, you're going to study the examples and then you're going to make what they call a formula for the following sentence. So it seems a little complicated, but it's not. You're just going to write in what a compound sentence would be and what a simple sentence with a compound verb would be. So for example, we've learned that a subject and a verb is a simple sentence. A subject, and a verb is a simple sentence with a compound subject. So what would be a compound sentence? And we learned this here. So here we learn the differences. What do compound sentences need to have? So you're going to write in what you've learned from the directions. What should a compound sentence have? And then what would a simple sentence with a compound verb look like? So we have here a simple sentence with a compound subject. So what would a simple sentence with a compound verb look like? And of course, if you need help, we can go over it, but it's all in the directions from yesterday, Monday. And then here you're just going to circle the compound nouns, which is pretty easy. Any word that has two words in it to make one word, and any noun that has two words, even if they're separated. So you're just going to use this remember F from when we learned our nouns and identify the compound nouns. Here for our spelling assignment, we have our vocabulary exercise as we have every week. So you're going to be using your 4 vocabulary words only: assignment, signals, convert, and convertible. So as always, make sure that you look these up in your spelling dictionary in the back of the book. And also on the top, it gives you little clues which parts of the word mean what. And this can also help you understand what the vocabulary words mean. So you will write your vocabulary words, make sure that you're spelling them correctly and neatly, matching your meanings, completing your sentences, read them out loud, and then your multiple choice. So same as usual, only with list 10, make sure you're looking up those words. And for our Shakespeare exercise today, so yesterday we didn't go over A Midsummer Night's Dream yet because I wanted to email you some resources, and I have. So take a look at your email. You have one document with a passage on it and then another one that talks about Shakespeare. And today, Tuesday, we're going to be watching a brain pop together about Shakespeare. Then we're going to talk about our article on Shakespeare, and then we're going to finally begin our exercise on A Midsummer Night's Dream. So come ready. If you can print those documents, that would be awesome. But if you can't, just have them ready on your computer.